We try not to worry about the rain or the sun, or because you can't do nothing about it. We try to put our efforts towards the things that we can change and try not to worry about the things you can't.
Some customers have been coming here their entire life. They know the family, they know all of us. It keeps a kind of sense that we're the farmer, we provide the food for them, they know us personally.
It's nice to see, you know, a bunch of healthy pigs, taking them to market, knowing that you're doing good and making a profit. Yeah, I just really enjoy working with the hogs.
To know that you're the main man responsible for your income and what's going to happen to you in the future, I like that feeling. Sometimes that's a lot of pressure, but we like the individuality of being out here.
The thing that I like the most about the farm, I guess, is the idea that I have the opportunity to be rewarded whenever I do a good job. You know, if I do my job right, then I hope to reap the benefits from that.
Our travels take us to Allen County, near New Haven, to the farm where everyone knows they can stop by to pick and choose their own pumpkin. Everywhere you look, orange, in the fields, along the road, in crates, everywhere.
I started as a 7th grader in high school as an FFA project with like a ½ acre of pumpkins, and it's up to 17 acres now, and it's no longer a hobby, it's a business now. I guess I'm proud of that.
It's a busy time of year if you sell fresh pumpkins like Diana and Ralph Kurtz, especially when thousands of area grade schoolers visit here for the annual Pumpkin Patch Tour.
2 leaves come up out of the ground, and that's the start of our pumpkin plant, isn't it? So it's really worked out nice for me to be able to incorporate some of my abilities and talents into our farming operation, and then there again I feel a big part of what he's doing, and it makes it more of a family type thing.
She enjoys teaching them of what the farm's all about. She'd probably do it all year round if she could.
Diana, a former school teacher, is very involved as the operation grows into new areas. As Ralph helps escort the children to the field, she educates them about raising the specialty crop.
After you get your pumpkin, don't come back on the wagon by yourself, because you will need to have someone help you. Just for them to realize that this ear of corn could end up as cornflakes, you know, that they eat for breakfast, and you know, their eyes get really big when they hear some of this, because I really think sometimes they just think it just appears, and for them to be able to see things firsthand and to come out here and to see the corn growing and this type of thing, I think it adds a lot, and it really makes me feel good to be able to present this too.
Pumpkins are a large part of the Kurtz operation. They also produce other vegetables and grain on 1,300 acres. After the pumpkin season, cattle take the place of the crates that now fill the feedlot. Located so close to Fort Wayne is good for the pumpkin business. It also forces them to intensify their management strategy. Farm acreage prices are high. To remain here, they must modify their production techniques and produce specialty crops.
It's like regular farming. You have a risk of hail with your soybean crop or corn crop. I guess it's just like anything else.
The Kurtz farm has been in the family since the late 1800s. Ralph and Diana say they will encourage their 2-year-old son Matthew to continue helping Dad. Our travels now take us to the small town of Starlight, which is about 45 minutes north of Louisville. This is Huber Orchards and Winery, tucked in between the rolling hills of Clark County. To say their operation is diverse would probably be an understatement.
Our operation is a very diversified operation, from our retail operation all the way through the crops that we grow, being Christmas trees, apples, strawberries, peaches, grapes, vegetables. All these things enable us to have at least 1 or 2 that are going to have a good year. Price is going to be up where we can make a little bit of money.
Ted Huber's favorites include the fruit crops, especially grapes. The grapes are a natural here, where the climate and terrain provide ideal growing conditions.
And I'll show you how disease-resistant these varieties are. These grapes haven't been sprayed since sometime in mid-July.
They end up here, in the wine cellar below the store where the wine is eventually sold. The Hubers produce nearly 24 varieties of wine, which have won many prestigious awards.
The white wines and the blush wines are left down in this facility until bottling. They're moved to this back row back here, where they sometimes may be down here for a year to 2 years of aging.
But that's not all.
He's pretty. We've had him for 3 years now. He's a real pretty guy. You just love licorice, don't you?
The petting zoo, hay rides, fresh market, bakery, and gift shop are only part of a full day's worth of activity on the farm for thousands of visitors each year.
No, that's all I'm going to give you. Go back and play with your chicken friend.
Armed with a cellular telephone attached to his belt, Ted supervises up to 75 employees on an operation that has been built by 6 generations.
Yeah, I'm 6th generation, and the business turned 150 years this year. Just knowing that my great-great-grandfather came from Germany here, looked at this farm, liked this farm, started the farming operation here, and 150 years later, I'm in line to take over in farming and continuing the family tradition, basically, that we have here. Just gives me a very sense of pride.
The 9 to 5 and then some for Dana is working for a computer systems company. Marketing, customer service, and computers are part of her off-farm job that she also applies to Saturdays and Sundays working around the farm.
A lot of what I do is originated around the customers. The customers are very important to us, and we want to keep the customers happy and keep them in a frame of mind where they always want to come back. They want to come back to our farm and see what we have new this year. So a lot of what I do on Saturdays and Sundays is working with customers.
The operation is constantly producing year-round. With such demands, there is a need to develop new customers. Dana says her plans are to someday work here full-time, developing marketing strategies and furthering their catering business and other customer relations.
In 5 or 10 years down the road, I hope to be working here back at the farm, actually working in the marketing, promoting the farm as much as we can and in a positive manner, and working with the customers, keeping our clients happy. I hope to be doing that, and I think that's a big chunk of our business and what we're all about, and I think I'll have my hands full.
While the Hubers have anything but a typical operation, there are many production similarities. They battle the same elements of nature, rely on the economy for their prices, and are constantly challenged to find new markets for their products. Our next finalist lives in Pike County, just outside of Petersburg. Terry Whyse has plenty of ambitious goals for the enterprise, which is a partnership with his mother. Their plans are to concentrate on hog production.
Right now, our hog enterprise is this more profitable right now than our crops is. If we can't spend more in the crops because it's taking more time away from our hogs, and we're just running too thin on both ends.
While the grain raised here is an important food source for the hogs, raising the crops may be too time-consuming. Instead, Terry may cash rent their 160 acres and purchase the feed.
Are you hungry? Yep. You want to be fed, aren't you? Okay, we'll feed you. We're averaging about, well, we go in between 9.5 to 10.5 on the average on our weaning pigs per sow.
And his production goals are right on target with the recent expansion of his state-of-the-art farrowing house and breeding and gestation buildings.
It's the latest technology that we've got right now in this building, so it's been working out excellent for us. We're really happy for it. You know, we're really, really happy with the building, and we're proud of it.
Caring for the environment is a top concern of Terry's. In addition to conservation tillage on the rolling ground,
it's made a believer on me this year. This is my first year that I've really concentrated on conservation tillage and no-tilling, and it made a really believer on me that it can work.
Manure management is handled using the latest methods, including knifing it into the soil.
eliminates probably 95% of your odor and the runoff, yeah.
Then there's the new two-tier waste treatment lagoon, which was cost-shared with SCS. All of the handling of the manure without odor within a mile of Petersburg.
It does work good for us, and that's the reason I had it built big enough. The engineers thought it was crazy, because I told them where I wanted it, and I said, make it big as you can make it. And they thought it was nuts, but I figure I know what I'm doing.
Events like these, a District 9 Young Farmer trip to the Chicago Board of Trade that Terry went on last spring, are few and far between. Terry says with all the work, he's found little time to socialize.
The farm takes a lot of my time, so I don't have much social life right now. It's just takes a lot of time farming, especially with the livestock.
The home of our next finalists is in Putnam County near the town of Cloverdale. Along Highway 42, there's a place called White Oak Farm, which is home to Rob and Melinda Mann.
Well, this is a family operation. There's a lot of families involved with, when you take my partners, which is my father and my brother, and then the employees, which have been here for a long time and are part of the family, I guess you could say, too. So this is definitely a family farm.
Rob's responsibilities are to manage the 5,000-acre grain operation while his brother is in charge of all of the livestock. They don't own all of the land that they farm, but rather have production agreements and leases with 30 landlords.
It's not feasible to try to haul it all to town to weigh it and break it up. Plus, we do a lot of drying for them and different services for them. So
this is where most of his farming takes place, in front of his computers in the home office. In addition to all of the records, Rob keeps finances balanced on the entire operation, including the seed company.
You know, the computers are a great tool to help speed you up on your accounting and your tax work, and the spreadsheets help us with a lot of different things we use, and help us with our marketing.
Rob's father, who oversees the operation, began production of Indiana certified seed in the 80s as an addition to their bottom line.
We were producing the product and taking it all the way through the cleaning and processing and marketing portions of the business, and trying to add some value back to the field crop.
This chemical containment dike was built with team effort. Melinda Mann has a degree in industrial engineering. She was instrumental in the design and construction of the structure.
Well, I did a little figuring on that dike for them. Sure. As far as capacity and that type of information.
We would have done it even if it wasn't a regulation, because storing this much product, we don't feel easy with it not being contained without some sort of secondary containment.
Melinda has found many other applications on the farm for her engineering talents.
In manufacturing, you're worried about efficiency, and a lot of the government regulations that mattered in industry, you know, are crossing more over into the farming, and so just staying up with what's current is important in any discipline, I guess.
While she will someday return to engineering, her career choice now is to stay home and raise their 3 children.
It's a real privilege to be able to stay at home and raise my children, and so many people have to depend upon the 2 parents working nowadays, and I enjoy being with my children. I don't know, those young years are awful important to them as far as developing their character and their personalities, and it's important to me to be with them.
The Mann's goals are to continue building upon the farm that was started by their grandfather. As the operation grows, they hope to involve more family members or pass it along to the new generation. Our final journey takes us to the southeast corner of Park County. Marked with an AgriGold seed representative sign at Brenton K. Lynn Farms, you'll find the Cox family hard at work. Being a seed representative has its financial rewards. Kevin also finds a wealth of knowledge while keeping up with varieties and production yields.
If I'm going to sell a product, I have to know what that product is, because I'm standing behind it. I am the company to the customer that I have. And if I don't know what I'm selling and it falls on its face to him, that comes back on me. He's going to ride. Now, is this the one that's just got one variety? Yeah. Let's go over and we'll pick those gray stemmed ones there. That'd be all right?
In his own test plot, he's proving to himself and his clients that on-farm testing and keeping up with modern technology is a key to successful crop management.
I try to do the test plots. And seed corn, everybody's got good corn. It's just making that seed corn work on your farm. But with the beans, there's a lot of variance in the beans.
Kevin works with his father. The operation is very unique in that it consists of two separate enterprises which operate as one farm.
But we work together. If we make a decision, it's we making a decision. But it might be me writing a check or him writing a check.
I work once a week at the hospital. I file insurance. The rest of the time I stay home and help him when he needs help and run the kids back and forth from kindergarten and be back here by the time Trent gets off the bus. And
when Brenda isn't working her part-time job, she's available to assist with some of the errands. Allowing her ample time to raise their children is what is most important.
I know my kids better because I'm home with them all day long. You know, I'm the one that they come to when something's wrong or something great happened at school. They come and tell me, and I just think it's great.
The idea that the kids can go with me, that's the thing that I like about it, you know, is whenever I come home or I come in with a truck or come in with a piece of machinery or something, you know, can we ride with you, Dad? You know, they'll come running out, you know, and that's great.
If there is more room in Kevin's heart for anything else besides his family and farming,
yeah, they hold a real strong place in my heart, yeah.
It would be collecting antique tractors, specifically old green antique tractors, like this 1939 John Deere B.
This particular tractor behind me is a 1939 John Deere B that my granddad purchased new in 1939, and it's never been out of the family. And since then, we've acquired 3 or 4 others that we like to play with and take to tractor shows.
He says he's learned a lot while restoring them, and he's amazed by the advancement that agriculture has made since his grandfather purchased the 39B. He says the challenges will be to keep up with new advancements in the years ahead.